Alber King, B.B. King, John Mayer. Have you guys ever wondered if you could sound like your heroes with a flick of your hand? Well, I'm about to show you just using my switch. And I've been working on this for years and years and years, and I thought if I'd bring this knowledge to you guys, it'd inspire you to separately listen to these guys and take something from them. So since we have 3 generations of players, I'm gonna first start with B.B. King and Alber King, show you guys the differences, move on to Jimi Hendrix, Stevie Ray Vaughan, and last but not least, John Mayer and Derek Trucks without the slide. And somewhere in the middle, there'll be a bonus as well. Now, when I listen to Alber King, the first thing that comes to my ear, the signature, is his intensity, loudness. He's trying to be as loud as you can. And on guitar, as the switch goes up, you get a little bit more darker, right? The loudest part is in the beginning. So I position my switch in the first position. When I play the blues, right? Usually when I play, right, with my flesh and I try to be soft, when I play Alber King, I will add the nail. So you have to have a little bit of nail to add it, right? You gotta go. You hear that? You see that spank I give the notes at the end? That is with my nail at the end, just trying to plug it. Right? That's imitation, right? I'm trying to get to that place that he was. Now, when I switch to B.B. King, right? We go down to B.B. box, and we're right here. No pedals, right? Just go position 4 and just see how soft that is? B.B. King. Here's the trick with this one. As soon as you switch to that fourth position, already, especially on a Strat, you have this softness and this beautiful tones that I usually use the 4th the most. But if you add that with your fingers without the nails, now this is the tricky part here, is you have to not hit the nail on the string. You have to go, right? Right? It's super mellow and completely different environment sonically, right? But let's move on to my heroes, Jimi Hendrix and Stevie Ray Vaughan. I will say there's one guy from all of them that you need a little bit of pedal. And if you can guess it, let me know in the comments section below, because it's coming up. But before that, I want to show you Stevie Ray Vaughan. So when I try to imitate Stevie Ray Vaughan, I usually listen to his album called Texas Flood, right? And I'll just sit back without my guitar, just listening to the whole thing, just let it sink in, and then I sit down. The best blues sound I can get out of my Strat is that 5th position, right? Right here. Stevie played with the pick. I myself play with the fingers. So I am forced, right here, I'm forced to... Now, I don't know if you're noticing what's going on, but completely different from Alber King and B.B. King, I now have to smack my nails on the strings. I have to do that to mimic his style because you need that little bit of dirt in there. Even though he played so clean with the pick, I could never imitate it, right? He still had that dirt, that brum into his playing. The way my attack is, I try to, like you're hitting the whole thing, but that one note has to land like a paper plane on a runway, okay? Now, on the contrary, and if you guessed it right, the only guy that needs a pedal here is Jimi Hendrix, is a completely different style, a dirty style. So let's put a pedal on and see what that sounds like. Right? And those of you who are wondering, you can use any distortion overdrive pedal. When I try to go to that Jimi place, first of all, it's impossible to do it clean. When it comes to my switches, right, I usually do the blues switch, or if I want to be as loud as I can, like he would, right, I would go to the first or the second position. Because when it comes to overdrives, the main thing is that you have to cut through, right? Your solo has to be above the backing track. So you try to figure that out with the switch. So I would go first, second, or the fifth switch, right? And when it comes to Jimmy's playing, which is so much different than Stevie Ray Vaughan's, and I could never imitate it, is he was a dirty player in the best way possible. I say this, I could never imitate that style. Matter of fact, there was 2 perfect voodoo childs ever recorded, and one was Jimi Hendrix and another one was Stevie Ray Vaughan. So now before we get to the 3rd generation, I just want to shout out to my man Eric Clapton. Clapton didn't have an intense style or a soft style. If you ask me, I think his style was right in the middle. And ironically, his switch was also in the middle when he would solo, right? Right? That's Eric Clapton's style. And what do we see in that style compared to the other ones is a lot of hammer-on and pull-off. And he would use this to get around the neck. And when I try to imitate his style and I practice myself and switch styles and try to combine them, I try to do whatever I'm doing, but do it with the pull-off and hammer-on. Right? You see how much I'm kind of bloating my playing style with hammer-ons, pull-offs, but it's beautiful at the same way. So that's where I try to go when I try to mimic Clapton. But let's get to our big boys, John Mayer and Derek Trucks. Now, John Mayer has 2 positions that I enjoy the most. The first one being the blues 5th position, right? His style is Stevie Ray Vaughan mixed with Jimi Hendrix with a little bit of Berkeley in it, right? So when I try to go B.B. King in John Mayer style, I will switch to the 4th position and then when I want to come back to blues, I'll hit it back. Right? When I try to mimic John, and I do, and Lord knows I do a lot, where I go mentally is there's a lot of timing going on, and there's a lot of playing off beat going on. So it's a, if you really listen to it, it's a. It's just up, down, right? Everything is right there. It just has this brum, brum, this cool swagger about it, where the beats are coming kind of unexpectedly rather than how you would expect them to go, right? Now, this style completely differs from Derek's style, which I'm currently learning. And this is very difficult for me because I don't have a slide and I'm trying to do all of this with my fingers. And what I'm doing here is I'm trying to mimic like some crazy, soulful, belting out vocalist back in the 70s, trying to sing her heart out. Now this style is, for me, you can kind of still see the mistakes, especially on a clean thing, and I use the middle position, by the way, for this. The way you want to practice is with a lot of slides, right? First, the super important thing here, guys, is that when you do the slides, there's only 2 strings that you really do it, and it's the B string and the G string. So when I practice this style, I try to stay on the B and the G string, and reason why is because those strings are the most comfortable to bend, right? I'm not gonna waste my time on E or A string going up and down if I'm not gonna bend something and make it sound as good. You could, and I do, but most of the time I'll spend right on the G, B, you want to learn how to do that up and down the neck. Then slowly add these little bends. Right? And then skip notes, right? Like a singer would. Right? Now it sounds like a little bit soulful singer, right? Because I'm skipping notes. And a little bit of micro bends and skipping notes, and that should get you to that stop. And for now, it's time for you to take out your guitar and try all this by yourself. Hope I inspired you. And if you guys enjoyed the video, do me a solid and like, comment, and subscribe to the video. See you guys next time.